This is Sneaker Gears. My name is Levi, and welcome to another episode of Performance Gears with a little bit of personal gears mixed in. Now, today's episode, if you see the title, is Failure to Flight, and that's because of the Jordan 33. If you're following me on Instagram, which please do so. Also, hit subscribe, and if you like this video at the end, hit that thumbs up as well. But you can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. Anyway, I posted that my Jordan 33s, after about 2 months, I did get these on a release day, have crapped out. So I have not done a full review video, but if you've watched all of our top 5 videos, you can see that this ranked pretty highly in multiple categories, and it was actually my 5th top 5 shoe of the year, even though I personally don't really like it, but I do want to give credit where credit is due. So let me do a quick recap, and then I'll go over what happened, and I don't know if that's going to help you guys or give you some information, but you let me know any questions you have, and I'll be happy to hit them in the comments below. Let's get right at it. Alright, so the Jordan 33 overall is a shoe that I did not like on the onset, even if you saw my preview video, and that was a while back, just because it didn't really bring cues from the Jordan 3, didn't really bring a lot of the things I was looking for. That's personal, that's okay. The technology they brought was, to me, nothing new, but I guess it's new to a basketball shoe. They brought a Boa System, and you kind of see that little mechanism below, and you pull to tighten, you pull this little tab to loosen. That was the marketing, that was the shtick. You know, you use the Velcro strap over here, and it makes it real easy to slide on, slide off, loosen during, between plays. Didn't quite work, guys. Anyway, so I'll talk about the positive, then I'll hit the negative. Positives, the traction on these are ridiculous. It was my second best traction of the year. You can argue that maybe they're the best traction, but anyone who's looking for a really good traction pattern or just traction on a shoe, these things are baller. Like, they legit are really, really nice. Even when they get dusty, they don't get slippery, but you do feel like, okay, they're not gripping as hard, let me wipe them down. And even then, you don't have to wipe all that often, but you do have to wipe every now and then. Anyway, the traction is ridiculous. The cushion, you can see these giant marks. I don't know why they have to show you. This feels very Chinese to me, with something like Peak does, or they show you, hey, there's cushioning here, trust us. I want to see it. That was with the Jordan 3. You can actually see the air. That was a big thing. I would love for us to see the zoom, see the air, and they haven't done that for us for, man, quite a long time. We're actually able to see the technology. So I guess they did that with the window here, but I don't know if that's not the same. There's a new release coming out with the Jordan brand that Jimmy Butler's been wearing, where you can actually see the zoom max. That I'm excited for. But neither here nor there, that cushion, they does use a full-size 4-foot zoom unit that's really thick. It uses a double-stack heel zoom unit that's really thick. You can't feel it, guys. It's, I don't want to say it's a waste, but you cannot feel it. This plays like it's a very firm setup. It has a lot of court feel, which is great. You feel quick in this, and it's similar to like a Kyrie 4, which has Cushline, except this has zoom. So it's a really weird dynamic where the foam setup or where they place the zoom, whatever it is, it's really weird. The only thing I do like about it, and they did talk about it, the carbon fiber plate that they use in this, they took the technology from the Vaporfly or the Zoomfly running shoe, and you can see how there's kind of a sharp angle right here. That angle really does give you a mechanical push-off, or right when you're right here, kind of loads that carbon fiber and springs you forward. So it's not a cushion, it's not a returning energy where, man, this feels good. It's more of a very fast feeling, pushing you, gets you going. And in that regard, I did like it. That is very unique to the Jordan 33. Now, the last aspect that I like, and this was also number 2, is the support on this. Literally, the whole back half of this shoe, you guys can feel me, is hard. Everything. This is so stiff. Everything going down here. Very similar to the Russell Westbrook Why Not, where you have that giant heel cup in the back. Now here you can't visually see it, but it is very stiff back here, in a good way. Now at the same time, you have the overlays right here, and this is for the lacing structure on this side and on this side, but those both are overlaid on top of the mesh, which gives you a lot of containment. You feel very, very locked in. So the support on this is fantastic. The traction on this is fantastic. And if you're looking for court feel, this was number 2. This is actually really, really nice. All right, that's all the positives. Let me tell you how I really feel. Number 1, right out of the box, the fit on this is gruesome. It is I didn't like the fit on it. There's a lot of Instagrammers who didn't like the fit on it. When I tried it on in store, people who were there didn't like the fit on it. And what's worse, I came on launch day at Nike Town, Chicago, and thanks a lot, guys, because it was a launch shoe, you could not try the shoe on unless you bought it. So me and a customer there both said, fine, here, we'll buy it, try it on. I tried them on. They had a size 12, which is, I'm a 12 wide. Didn't work at all. Had to get my money back, and that took 7 to 10 days. Thanks a lot. Same thing with the guy next to me. He tried them on. He had a size 9, a narrow foot, and even he was like, man, these feel weird. They're kind of long. How do they fit on you? I'm like, it fits kind of tight. This is weird. Anyway, went to the Jordan store on State Street, State 23. They took care of me. They had a whole setup. It was really nice. Got the try on a 13. They didn't have a 12 and a half. 13 worked pretty nicely. I felt maybe it was long, but you know what? It works. I'm going to work with it. Take it to the courts literally same day, and it ended up taking probably the first month before these would break in. It would really hurt. It reminded me a lot of the KDs, where if you guys, I don't know if you've been following me, the KD 10s, that initial wear and the break-in on these was horrible, but once they broke in, the knit upper, they feel really nice, but it just took a while. So once these broke in, I'm like, okay, so the fit's okay. It's not great. I'm not going to write home about it. But with this strap, the lockdown is solid. And then the clicking mechanism. So when you pull this, it actually will give you a little bit of a click. Like click, 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 click. I have a wide foot. Duke from Wear Tester said if you have a wide foot, potentially you don't even need to tighten it down. So I would actually only need 3, 4 clicks at most. And I had to be careful because if you just go like this, it just so... and you'll torque it down and it actually would hurt. So I actually would be very careful. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. So because I wasn't putting much tension on it, meaning I'm not locking this thing all the way down, this thing's not having to torque everything, I really thought like, hey, I'm not going to have any issues. A lot of folks out there have had their strap already break, and I'm like, well, I'm not tightening that far. I should be okay. All right, well, I'll get into that a lot. Obviously, you guys see what's going on. These are super torqued down, so you can get the gist of the idea. What I don't like about the shoe, on top of the fit, which eventually got there, is that midsole is chunky. It feels chunky. It looks chunky. It plays chunky. It also is not very flexible. You do get that spring off effect right here. You can see me pushing down, but it's a clunky feel. I don't know how else to say it. That heel to toe, it's not smooth. It plays heavy. It's a heavy shoe. Now, there's shoes that are heavy, but how they play is a different story, and vice versa. This shoe plays heavy. Now, that mechanical push-off overrides it a little bit, so you can get into the shoe and actually still play quickly. The support, even though it's heavy, it gives you a sense of that lockdown, like, hey, my foot's going to be okay. So I guess it works with the shoe a little bit, but overall, it is heavy. It is clunky. The heel to toe is not smooth. So just the ride in general, even though the court feel is nice, and I can recommend it for that, that's not necessarily what I like. This is not in my top 5. So I actually took these on the court with the Curry 6. Now, I actually had the winter colorway, if you guys follow me on Instagram again. Ended up returning those after playing them in about 2 weeks, and ended up getting this colorway, the Fox Theater. I like it a little bit better. Anyway, so played in the Currys, brought the #1 court feel shoe, the BYWX, and I just wanted to try them out going back and forth, see how good this really is. I said this was #2, and I do like the court feel, but I guess long story short, either one of those is going to rock this any day of the week. This gimmicky setup, it's not worth the fit hassle. It's not worth the speed feeling that you get when you have 2 shoes that are lighter, smoother, have better court feel, better overall cushion, even with the impact protection, and give you traction that is as good, if not possibly better, on one of them. So I'll have a full review on the Curry 6 and the BYWX. I think I have a full review on that coming up soon. So anyway, down to how I feel about the shoe. So 1, it got knocked down by those guys. 2, it feels clunky. 3, the fit's not good. And 4, Jordan brand, thanks a lot. There's no clicking, it broke. Now, it was loose. I still played in it, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It's not that loose. But once we stopped playing, I sat down. I'm like, okay, maybe I should put a little harder. Maybe it's not quite gripping. Pulled one side, pull the other, pulling it hard. Eventually, it started to click. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. All right, so I clicked it. I'm like, oh, it's working. Like, Let me loosen this up. That broke. That's gone. You can see it even sticking out over here. You want to talk about annoying. So now these are cinched down. They can't be taken loose. This is useless. I can't wear this shoe. I literally can't even get my foot in it anymore. So generally, Jordan brand, Nike is really good with customer service. And here's where it becomes a personal gears. I'll share with you my experience. All right, so Nike is generally really good at taking care of customers if something goes wrong. So if you have a malfunction, an error, the air bubble pops, whatever have you, you go to a Nike outlet or Nike Town and they will try to exchange it. But here's the problem. A lot of the shoes, especially the shoes that I get, the shoes I like, you can look at my collection, they don't have this. They didn't even have Jordan 33s. You think the outlet has 33s? 33s are gone. So one, they can't give me the shoe I want. Two, they can't give me the color I want. As a collector, I actually really wanted to keep this launch way color. Even if I was going to put it away, I would buy a second pair. And now this is starting to become possibly the first Jordan in 33 generations I won't own. Is that completely true? I'm thinking I might want to get the Chinese New Year coming out, and that one looks really nice. But even then, the fit issues, the worrisome that I have with the actual technology used, I don't know if I want to do it. Even though I like the way that one looks, it's really iffy. So anyway, you go to the Nike Town, and we have a Nike Town in Chicago. So it is a better chance than most people have around the country, unless you're by Nike Town, to possibly have what they're looking for you. One, they don't. Two, well, okay, let me get it online. Well, you know, they changed the rules on that. Oh, we can't help you. It has to be in store. You can't order what's online. Even though what's online, they have a lot more availability. I might be able to get the color. Maybe you can search for it at another store. No, no, no. Thanks a lot for helping me. So I have a shoe I can return, and here's the thing. So they'll take care of you depending on the shoe you get. And guys, keep this in mind with their warranty policy in store. They will only give you what the system tells you the shoe is worth at that point. Now, fortunately enough, this is still worth retail $175, but I have not been so fortunate in the past where sometimes I say, hey, this is only $90 now because it's been on sale or whatever it is. That's not really fair either, because if they don't have the exact same shoe, you now just lost money because you now cannot get an equivalent. My Jordan Why Not Chaos version, my #1 shoe of last year. Love the shoe. No issues with it. It's $125. It is now on sale for $80, and hopefully you guys, I know a couple of you guys jumped on it and got it for $60 with 20% off. Well, if for some reason you had an issue with it, or if I had an issue and I went to the store, I would only get $80 for it, even if I wanted another pair, because they're only available online. So this is this messed up warranty process that obviously you can tell I am not happy with. So the best they could do is have me come in when there's a shoe that I want and trade it in, because you only can do shoes in store, in stock that you can get. And here's the thing, once you trade them in, the shoes are flagged as a non-return or non-whatever with that shoe. Meaning if I got a shoe and I say, hey, you know, I kind of didn't like this shoe or the color or the fit. Generally, Nike's really good at that. If you buy Nike.com, hey, this didn't work, they're great. Not in this scenario. So I am hoping to get the Why Not 2.0 with the return on these. You guys know what I'm doing. I don't want to wait till the Chinese New Year because that's another 3 weeks. I don't even know if I want to get the shoe again after having the issues with this. All of that, it's just not a great experience overall. Jordan Brand, if anybody watches this, if whoever sees this, you can send it to the powers that be. See what you can do, because that experience was not great. And if you're buying this shoe, I can tell you from the reports of the rope or the string actually breaking to my issue with the fast fit system literally just giving out, this is not a shoe I can recommend reliably. Now, I have a lot of shoes. I am playing 4 or 5 times a week. I am testing things out. So this is not like I put in 4 hours a day every day and beat the crap out of it. I'm taking care of my shoes. I only wear them on court. And when I wear these, I usually bring 2 or 3 pairs with me to the gym. So I'm changing my shoe every, say, 30 minutes to, if I really like a shoe, you know, almost 2 hours. So they're being cycled. They're not getting beat up. So I'm giving you a best case scenario, not someone who goes out, buys a shoe, and just wants to go hoop. You're going to be putting a lot more wear and tear than something from me. And on top of that, I'm about 245. I don't think I'm way beyond what the shoe is comparable. Yeah, LaMarcus Aldridge is pushing like 270, 280 rocking these, and so for Andre Drummond. So I really don't think it's an issue with my style of play or the force that I put on it broke. I really have to say this is not a system that was completely developed and is ready for market. Well, everyone, sorry for being a little bit long-winded. It's kind of upsetting. Hopefully, you guys can fast forward to that. I'll put a little link in the description below if you wanted to just jump to the part about how it broke. If you follow me on Instagram, you can see kind of the updates going on there. If you guys have any questions, again, I'm happy to answer them down below. This has been a full review, so if you liked it, thank you. Give it a thumbs up down below. I will have a review coming up on the Curry 6. And as far as the Sneaker Gears update, these are being packaged and ready for delivery for all pre-orders. So if you guys have not ordered yours yet, you can get on it. We will work on our second shipment, so that's going to be coming in a few weeks as we ramp these up. We did make some really nice improvements when these were first initially announced, where they are stronger, even more comfortable, and just overall a better package. This is the first full-length energy returning insole. Really changes how a shoe works. If I put this in any shoe, I can't really test it for court feel because I'm bouncing all around. So that's both good and bad depending what you're looking for, but I love it because you can have two dynamics to a shoe and it definitely makes a big difference. Obviously, this is something in basketball, but if you have a running shoe, works really well in any CrossFit or training shoes, or if you just have a dress shoe that you're walking around all day, these insoles make a giant difference in turning even a leather hardwood dress shoe to make it feel like a running shoe. Guys, really appreciate you. This is Levi with Sneaker Gears, and I'll come at you later.